Okay, we're back with the 7 laws of perspective. Earlier in the first video, we went through the 7 laws of perspective one by one with a photograph or just a little quick drawing to represent each of your laws, which is what you'll be doing in your first part of your activity, just to get a good understanding. So what I promised that I would do is do a full drawing with using all 7 of the laws, just so you can see that it really works in nature. It works around us wherever we are. Just take photographs. If you take photographs of any places around where you are, evaluate it and just look at maybe what's going on in the photograph with where things are positioned. So you're going to be really enlightened when you see that. So what I want to do is just maybe draw like maybe a lake scene or a beach scene with a lounge chair, maybe a boat in the water and some mountains in the background, just to give you an idea that all 7 of these perspectives are seen in nature. So I'm going to start off with maybe the bank where maybe the chair would be sitting. I'm just going to put in a really kind of a quick beach chair. And it's quick, y'all. It's really quick. This is real simple, real quick. Put some hatch marks in there to represent the weave in the chair, and maybe even an umbrella going across right here just for some coverage in the sand, a little bit of sand. So see how large that is? And now we're going to go back here into the water and maybe put some mountains or a bank back here where there'll be some mountains. And they have to be really small. You know, mountains are really, really large, but because we are working with depth, we need things that are in the foreground to be larger, things in the background to be smaller. So let's go ahead and throw a little boat in here. I'm going to throw a boat in back here, just a little like canoe. And of course, you know, the person that's sitting here is going to be quite large. Wouldn't be able to sit on this really tiny canoe, but we're making it smaller, and let's make another smaller one back here. And this is just some rough sketches. Let me fix my umbrella right here. And just some, maybe a canoe or maybe a sailboat. So let's put a sail on it so we can really recognize it as a boat. And there's another one back here. We can't see the sail because there's overlap with this umbrella. We can't see the sail on this boat. Put a few little waves of water in there. And then we have, let's put some birds in the sky, larger birds, maybe a little few tiny ones. A really big one. Here's a really big one right here in the foreground. So these birds are different sizes. That represents near and far. Near and far. Okay. Foreshortening could come about with this chair. The back edge of the chair would be more straight like this if we were looking at it from behind. But it's foreshortened and tipped out of its axis, so it'll be a little bit shorter. So, and then what else do we have? We have overlap. I just want to go with surface. Let's start at the top. Surface. This item down here is low on the picture plane. This is closer to us. It's going up away from us as it reaches up onto your picture plane. So vertical placement, surface placement, these are all starting to happen. Here, 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 here. We're moving up the picture plane with vertical placement. We have size, large right here, and things get smaller as they go in the distance, because you know that a person sitting here is going to be quite large, wouldn't be able to sit on this boat effectively. So things are getting smaller in the distance. We have overlap. We have the chair, the umbrella. Let me go ahead and fix the stick on the umbrella. The umbrella stick over the chair for overlap. We know that this is closer to us than this. We have the umbrella overlapping part of the boat. And we know that this is closer to us than that. And what else could we put in here to represent something closer to the other? I don't want to put a lighthouse. That would be kind of weird at a beach, right? So, and then shading. You want to have a lot of strong detail in the foreground. Like this can be high details. You can have things going on down here on the ground. This is the beach. Have a lot of maybe sandy textures and put stipples. So you want to have a lot going on down here to make that nice and bright and dark. In the water is getting further away from us. The texture or the density of the mountains these would be much darker than the ones behind it. And I'm just going really quickly just to give you an idea of what's going on here. So this is my scribble. I don't want you guys to scribble. I want you to take your time and look at textures and try to complete your drawings with better finesse than I have going on right here. But I'm just kind of trying to hurry up so these videos don't end up being 2 hours long. And then the mountain right behind it, it could have less details actually. And I'm just going with some really light cross hatch lines. And then this one's even lighter, because this one's way back there in the distance. So you want to gradually step your textures as they move to the next level, or your densities as they move to the next level, so that one looks darker than the other. The foreground is darker than the back. Foreground is going to be a lot denser, more details going on, and then as you recede back, these things start to get lighter and lighter. So that's what you're going to be doing with a drawing to demonstrate. And we'll do this later. Don't worry about it now. We're going to do this full drawing later. I want to teach you guys linear perspective so that you have that under your belt before you start with the 7 laws of perspective that might include some linear perspective ideas. So let's wait until we jump into the next module, and then we'll go back and we'll do a complete picture that has all 7 of the laws, including linear perspective. So we have surface, we have size, we have surface lines. Oh, we didn't do surface lines. Surface lines, here we go. Surface lines, we know that this thing is rounded. So what we're going to do is put some surface lines. Same as kind of like terrain lines. So surface lines helps us to identify what the form might be looking like. So I just created surface lines on that umbrella. Shading back here in the back. Density also kind of plays a part. So shading and density kind of go together back here. So things that are closer are more dense. Things that are in the rear are more less dense. Foreshortening is when things are taken off its axis. Maybe if I had thrown the umbrella down and shown some more of the bottom of the umbrella's tip down here, that would have shown you a little bit more on foreshortening. How about if we just go ahead and throw maybe, okay, we'll do 2 of them. Here's a bucket. All right, here's a bucket that's standing straight up. Okay, and let's go ahead and knock that bucket down. So I'm going to put the bottom of the bucket here, and then the top of it right there. So now the bucket appears to be laying down in the sand. So it's foreshortened. This is the long axis, and this is the long axis of the bucket. Let's do it in a different direction. Circle, overlap, circle, connect the 2 circles, and now we have a bucket with the opening toward the front. So we're going inside this way. So we foreshortened these 2 edges, or each side of the bucket. Okay, so that is a little bit on foreshortening. What about let's put a can of soda somebody knocked over here. So the can would be sitting up this way, but now we've knocked it down, so it is foreshortened right here. Let's do it again. I encourage you guys to practice. Keep seeing these phenomena happen as you draw each one of these principles or perspectives and laws of perspective. So I hope that this helps you understand that the laws of perspective are everywhere. Everywhere. Take a look around. Take pictures. Just use your smartphone and take pictures, and then just sit and evaluate. Find all of these 7 laws, because I guarantee you we're coming back to this once we get through linear perspective. So I'll see you in the next video.